Hey viewers, welcome to VL Astrology once again, and I'm Vanitha Lenka. I'm a Vedic astrologer, and I'm going to be talking about what's there in the month of September 2020. Yes, it's a very crucial month because there are many transit positions changing in the sky and major ones. So we can anticipate some major changes, of course, in our lives also, individually as well as on the mundane level. I will be sharing with you the sign-wise predictions as well, and these are going to be very general predictions, but they will definitely be matching up to some extent because the transit positions they do impact us individually as well, and on the mundane level they have different impacts and some major ones because the major planets are going to be changing their positions as well. So what are the major highlights? I'll be sharing one by one, and then we'll be proceeding towards the sign-wise predictions. But before going there, I would request you to subscribe my channel if you are a new visitor here. And I do make weekly transit videos. I keep uploading videos from time to time on the transit positions in the sky, the innermost planet especially, because they change signs often and frequently. So I have to upload videos regarding those as well. And I keep posting as per each sign also. So please do watch the whole video if you want to, the initial summary especially, where I will be telling you what exactly is in store on the mundane level as well. So it's good if you can stick on to the summary first and then switch to your sign, okay? And if you are not interested, you can straight away jump to your sign-wise prediction as well. So what are the highlights of this month? First, taking the highlights of this month, especially the planets which are changing signs. So to start with, we have Venus changing sign from the sign of Gemini, owned by Mercury and was conjunct with Rahu here, is going to be changing sign from Gemini to Cancer on the 1st and is going to be there till the 28th of September, and then will be entering Leo sign owned by Sun. And that's going to be till the 23rd of October. I'll be sharing a separate video on these transit positions as well. Then secondly, Mercury is changing sign, is going to be in the exaltation sign. That is on the 2nd September and is going to be in exaltation for 20 days. That is on the 22nd, will be leaving the sign of Virgo as well. So this is the very important transit again. Why? Because it is going to be impacting us on the monetary level, because Venus is also the sign of, denotes the relationships, finances, and Mercury is business, trade, marketing as well. So whatever communication gap is there, this will be getting resolved, and because Mercury is in a very good position. So on the mundane level, businesses, trade, they will pick up the speed. And then we have Venus in Cancer, which is going to be heightened emotional bent of mind, with the Cancer sign being the owned by Moon and being the emotional sign. So Venus is going to be having a lot of influence on the relationship status that you are in. Maybe you will be getting into a relationship, or you will be actually modifying your relationship you are in right now. You'll be thinking emotionally rather than being too practical in your relationship. Then Sun is then there is another very major transit position happening, that is Mars going retrograde on the 10th of September in the sign of Aries, and will be entering, of course, it's retrograde for a long time, from 10th of September till the 14th of November, but here it is going to get demoted and will be entering the sign of Pisces again on the 5th of October. And till the 14th of November in Pisces sign, it will be in retrogression and then gets direct. And up to the 24th of December will be in the sign of Pisces, and then again enters the sign of Aries. So this is actually a demotion kind of a phase, but in retrogression, Mars is not going to be what it is. The energy levels are going to be getting impacted negatively. You will be feeling little low on energies. Your tasks might be getting, tasks will get deferred. Whatever you have decided, you will not be able to. With siblings, with neighbors, you will have some clashes. In the natural zodiac, it owns the first house, first sign, and the 8th sign in the natural zodiac. So it is definitely going to be impacting property matters, if at all you have to make decisions regarding property matters before that. And on the mundane level also, there is a lot of negative influence of Mars, because the energy levels are going down. So on the whole, the people who have initiated something, they might just get low on energy, as in like they're unable to complete the tasks, and there's a lot of frustration as well. So that is something which is going to happen. And then Sun is going into Virgo sign as well, so that is good. Friendly sign, friendly zone. Sixth house is the natural zodiac. Sixth house of the natural zodiac is good placement for Sun. There is definitely Veda which is forming for the planet by Saturn, but Saturn is again it's not because of this, but otherwise whenever there is a planet who's transiting through the opposite sign of Sun, wherever Sun is, that is causing the Veda. So we have to check all that. I will be sharing with you the Kundli also, the horoscope, where you will be able to understand. So Sun is going to be in Virgo from the 16th of September till the 17th of October. So that is also a very, very important transit, because after that Sun is going into the sign of debilitation after the 17th of October. So utilize this transit because Sun is very strong here and is leaving the Dharma Trikona, as I've always been talking about. So it is going to be activating the Artha Trikona now. So with the Jupiter getting direct on the 12th of September, very important transit again, and is in demotion. Obviously, it was in Capricorn. It was Atichari, finished the span, got retrograde in Capricorn, came back to Sagittarius, and now from Sagittarius sign, it's going to get direct. And once it completes a span of 30 degrees, we'll be entering the sign of Capricorn. Finally, that is going to be happening in the month of November, 20th of November. So in the direct motion, this is the shadow period, which is the demoted period. So, but Jupiter is gaining some strength here. So whatever tasks related to your education, your wisdom, or your some major decisions that you have to make will be made during this time. Gold prices might increase. There's a lot of fluctuation, in fact, and definitely it is going to be impacting the stocks and shares as well. So this is going to be till the obviously the direct motion, and definitely is going to get impacted positively also, because Ketu is leaving this Jupiter. So that of course Sagittarius sign is getting a relief. So Ketu and Rahu are also changing signs, as we all know, on the 19th of September. Why 19th? Because I take true nodes. As per the mean nodes, it's going to be 22nd, but as per the true nodes, 19th, Rahu and Ketu are changing signs. So Rahu is going to be going to Taurus. I've already made the videos. You can go back and watch those videos in the playlist, Rahu Ketu, under the heading. You can watch all the parts. I will be making 2-3 more parts on this, and stay tuned for that as well. And Saturn is going to get direct on the 28th of September. So this month is a very happening kind of a month. I think the major most planets are changing positions during this month. It's a very, very crucial month, similar to March. March, we got the retrogrades, and now it's going to be a very, heightened energy because we are having retrogradations, retrograde planets getting direct. So definitely a positive transit for everybody. Because the stuck up jobs, because the planets are not giving results as per their own nature till now when they are in retrogression. So now they'll be able to give the results as per their nature. So Jupiter and positive grahas, when they get retrograde, they are not considered to be good. Saturn getting retrograde, of course, is different, because Saturn is losing its delayed obstructive nature. So in retrogression, it's better, but definitely how to synchronize it with your own horoscope, that is also very, very essential. We should not overlook that, how it is in your natal chart. So this is the planetary configuration, and we are getting relieved during this month because of the planets which are changing signs, and they are going to be impacting one and all. So I think you should be, whatever decision making you have to make, you should be making once Jupiter gets direct. Then Mercury is getting exalted. So again, the Artha Trikona is getting activated, with Sun also entering there. So whatever decisions you have to make regarding your financials, you should be making during this time, when the Artha Trikona is getting active. We all have to be practical. We all need financials to be enhanced, obviously. And in case in relationship you are having problems, that will get also little better, because the lustful Venus is going to get strength, the emotional strength now, once it is leaving the sign of Gemini, because it was conjunct Rahu. So it is a separative now. The separation is going to be better. Venus is gaining strength, so it is positive for relationships. So whatever the superficiality or the physical, only physical aspect was taken care of till now, will be getting into the emotional front even more. So positive, and we have to be prepared for this. But please do understand that these are very general predictions that I'll be taking up, because we have to see your personal chart to understand what exactly are the planets talking about in your natal chart and the dasha. Then comes the transit. But definitely transits do have impact, but we have to see, we have to understand they are just the tools. Dasha and transits are just mere tools. They don't have the potency to create the events. All right. So if there is promise in your chart, it will happen, but only if the dasha is conducive, and then comes the delivery person, that is transit. So a lot of talking about it. Moving on to the sign-wise predictions. So stay tuned for all the 12 zodiac signs one by one. All right, for Aries first. So for Aries, you must see the planetary positions. Please hear the initial commentary. It will help you. So what exactly is happening? Your Lagnesh is going to go retrograde on the 10th. So whatever task that you have to finish off, I think you should be utilizing this transit, because Mars is going to be in, in direct motion. So it is quite strong here, and then will be moving backwards in the sign of Pisces. So you have to be taking care of your expenditures also in the upcoming month. So here, the most important thing is that on the first and the second, Venus and Mercury are also changing signs. So this is going to be bringing about heightened emotional energies, a lot of emotions and physical with your partner, with your family members. You'll be very attached, and they can be, because Mars is in the first house. So there is a lot of energy, which is leading to aggressive energy as well. So you have to be very cautious. Financials, you will be thinking with a lot of emotions. So you have to tame that energy as well, because, your second lord is going to the fourth house. So that can become too much of impractical, making decisions regarding your property matters, vehicles, or whatever, you have to purchase. Purchases are going to be giving you a lot of, impractical decision making. So you have to make sure that you make the right kind of decisions. But very good for financials in a way, because Mercury is going to be in the sign of Virgo, and then will be moving to Libra. So when, and of course, there will be an exchange also later with Mercury, between Mercury and Venus. So that will also be taking care of lot many things. But in this month, you have to take care of your, financials. Don't be impractical, and there can be some kind of, investments that you're thinking of making, so you can make during this time. During the, on the 10th, we have Mercury getting retrograde here, you can see. So this is actually, when it's retrograding, it's going towards your 12th house. So the energy is too much, but at the same time, you have a lot of, expenditure. So you have to be taking care of your expenses here. And being the lord of the 8th, going to the 12th house, towards the 12th house, it can bring about some health issues also. So can confine you. Maybe there is a lot of energy inside within. So you're unable to utilize it, So the vent is very essential. So be careful. Don't go haywire. Don't be underutilizing your energy. Use it in a proper manner. In case you are you're an engineer, you are into some technician, you're into some technical field, or you are a doctor or a surgeon. So this is going to be a good transit for you in a way, because retrogression towards the 12th house is not bad for you. Then of course we have Sun also transiting out of your 5th house and going to the 6th, which is considered to be good again. And this is a positive transit, and there is no obstruction also, no Vedha to Sun also, because there's no planet here until unless Mars goes here. So there's no Veda which is formed because of the sun transiting the sixth house. Sun transiting the sixth house is considered good. It is the fifth lord going to the sixth, so it is definitely positive for the students, for making decisions regarding your financials, regarding your health. You will be taking quite a lot of care of your health. Enemies will be defeated. If you are into litigation, you will be able to win over the litigation as well. Any disease if you have, which is a prolonged disease, you will find a good doctor also during this month. It is a positive one. Post the 16th, especially when sun is in your transiting the sixth house. See, Saturn is already in your 10th house. So it is definitely going to be giving you a lot of hard work. The hardworking nature of yours is pretty positive and you should be utilizing it. Then on the we have Jupiter also getting direct, and on the 19th we have Rahu Ketu also changing signs. So this is also going to be a positive one for you, because Rahu is in your second house and Ketu in the eighth. So it can give you some health issues, but at the same time good for financials, because Mars is looking at this Ketu as well. So some surgery on card in case you have to, if you're driving, be careful. You can go little overboard, or there is some mismanagement, something which is not correct. The judgment is missing, so be careful while driving also. Take care of your lower abdominal region, take care of your health. It is going to be leading to some health issues also. Okay, but Jupiter definitely, the Bhagesh is in the Bhagya house, so it is definitely going to be giving you a lot of luck factor in your favor. So positive for you. And the Earth Trikona is also getting active, with the Sun, Mercury, and Saturn in the Earth Trikona. So you have a lot of financial, you're thinking of a lot of financials also. Positive. So it is definitely because Rahu is also in the Earth Trikona. So 2, 6, and 10, these are getting active. So it is definitely going to be enhancing your financial growth, and your Bhagesh is also going to get direct. So definitely it is going to be positive month for you. For student natives, good for student natives, good for investments in case you have to make investments, good for health also. But you have to be driving safely, be careful about the driving part, or you're prone to some accidents. So that is something you have to be taking care of. Okay, and take care of your emotions. There can be some emotional bent of mind with your family members, a lot of emotions. Don't go overboard, because Saturn is trying to tame those energies as well, because Saturn is looking at this fourth house of yours. Okay, so take care and enjoy this month. Coming to the next sign, that is Taurus. All right, for Taurus people, the transit of Mars is in your 12th house. Your Lagnesh is going to be in your third, and Rahu Ketu are going to be changing signs. I'll be sharing with you the screen also. And Mercury is also going to be coming to your 6th house from the 5th house, from the 4th house. It's transiting here, and Jupiter is going to go direct, and Saturn is going to go direct also towards the end of the month. So this is the highlight. I've shared everything in the beginning summary. You can just go back in here as well. So what is happening here in Taurus, for Taurus people? First of all, you have to be taking care of your health. This is the major thing that I wanted to share, because Jupiter is also going to get direct, and Ketu is also going to be till the 19th year, and Mars is going to be transiting your 12th house. So which is again, leading to some health issues, some, travel related worries, or maybe some foreign clients, or foreign your clients you're losing out on. So there can be some expenditures on the stuff that you don't want. Too much of expenses is on the card, so you have to be taking care of your health. Your Lagnesh is going to the 3rd house. It's not considered to be that bad, but at the same time, it is in Cancer sign, so the energy is very emotional with your siblings, with your neighbors, with your classmates. Whatever decisions you're going to be making about your communication, that is going to be very, very emotional. Your emotional bent of mind is heightened during this time. Though Venus transiting the 3rd house, is not considered that good. But at the same time, it is definitely going to give you some emotions, emotional bent of mind, which is positive. Mercury is transiting the exaltation sign. It is the it's a Yogakara Graha for you in a way, because it owns the Lord. It's the Lord of the 2nd and the 5th. So it is a positive Graha, as it is they are friendly to each other, Venus and Mercury, and they're forming a 3-11 relationship also. So this is positive for you. In case you have to make decisions regarding your education, good, you should be taking a call. In case you have to travel and go for higher learning, higher studies, you should be actually planning it during this time, because Mercury is exalted and Mercury is education, communication. So it is business, trade as well. So business and trade are also going to flourish, and it is going to be looking at your 11th house also. So it is definitely a positive for the ones who are in business and trade as well. For the ones who are in, they're working for somebody, they are employees to somebody, so they have to have cordial relationship with the bosses and the seniors. You have to be taking care of those energies especially. See, we have Mercury going retrograde, Mars going retrograde, being the lord of your 7th as well as the lord of the 12th. So there can be some kind of, because it's forming, it's transiting your 6th house from the 7th. So there can be some problems related to your relationship. So you have to be taking care of what you speak, or how you convey things to your partner. It can bring about a lot of miscommunication and can bring about a lot of misunderstanding as well, because it is definitely going to be because it is going to be bringing about some kind of a difference of opinion and distance from your spouse. So how you mend ways and how you balance things out, it's all up to you, because there is something which is visible and it is not it's not looking good. So you have to be taking care of your relationship. And of course we have Rahu Ketu also changing signs, so it can also bring about some problems in the relationship. I'll be showing you the chart of that as well. But before going there, let me show you that Sun is also going to be in your 5th house. See, Sun in the 5th house will give you a lot of creative energies, because it is in the trine to Saturn as well. A lot of hard work, but at the same time, a lot of heightened, creative energies. There can be some problems or some authoritative nature of your partner, but at the same time, it is positive for the growth prospects, for creative energy. At the place of work, you'll be flourishing and doing well, making major decisions. With your bosses, you will have some cordial relationship. With your co-workers also, you will have some cordial relationships. Utilize this 1 month's time, because then Sun will be going into the sign of debility next month. So utilize this transit of Sun here. Then we have, of course, Jupiter getting direct in your 8th house. That is also positive, but it will be in shadow period. It is in the motion form and it will be in shadow period. But Ketu and Rahu, Ketu is leaving this Jupiter. So again, it will give you some kind of positive energy and little extra, health issues that you were having will be taken care of. So it is little extra growth and positive energy there. But at the same time, in relationships, you can have problem. You can have some distant relationship with you, because Ketu and Mars are forming a 6-8 relationship again. So you have to be taking care of your relationship, because this is a detrimental sign for, Venus rising, that is Taurus rising people, and Mars is in retrogression. So they can be that, the passion is low, or the energy is pretty low, or you are very rough speeched with both of you are very, having some clashes often. So take care of your health, take care of your lower abdominal region. With Ketu in your 7th house, it's a Maraka place. In the natural zodiac, if you know, the 7th house is the Maraka, 2nd house is the Maraka, because, people think more about financials. So that is why 2nd house is considered the Maraka also, Marak Sthan. And of course, as we know, it is the, from the 3rd, it is the 12th, and from the 8th, it is the 7th again. So it is the Maraka Sthan. So take care of your health, take care of your investments you can do. It's a good time. But yes, with Rahu Ketu changing sign, if you can just go back and watch my videos, you will get to know what exactly is happening. So this is this is going to be giving you a different kind of outlook, perspective change with Rahu coming in the Lagna. So something which is going to be very different. You're going to be changing things in your life, because it's coming to your 1st house after, say, 18 years or after 36 years. That I have mentioned already in the return of Rahu and Ketu, and the inverse return also I have mentioned. So these are very crucial points, crucial stages of life. So whatever you have not been able to complete or do, you might be doing it during this time, because Rahu and Ketu, they have also drank the nectar. So definitely they are having some kind of positive energy as well. So we cannot just write them off completely. And Sun and Moon are keeping a close watch on them, the story, how it goes. So they are being aspected and seen by Moon and Sun often. So they cannot do anything which is offbeat also. So they'll be taken care of. Don't worry, and take care of your health, I would say. Just make a note of the dates. I think I forgot for Aries. So I'll mention in the description. So for Taurus people, you have to be taking care on the 12th and the 13th about your lower abdominal region. You can have some pain, or you can eat something which is not right. So it can give you some stomach related problems. On the 21st, 22nd also, you can have some clashes with your spouse, or maybe there will be some heightened passion in relationship. uh, Take care of your expenditures during these 2 days. Maybe you will be going in for some shopping, some online shopping or something, and then you will regret. So just avoid these 2 days especially. Overall, I think it is not a bad phase. The rest of the places are positive, and it is going to give you some positive energy here. On the 28th, 29th, you can be very, very, maybe emotional, or you can have some clashes with your family members. So take care of all these things. The rest of the month is beautiful and good for you. Just do the Saraswati Vandana often. It will help you. Okay, take care. Coming to the next sign, that is Gemini. All right, Gemini people, this is going to be a very positive month for you for two reasons. Number one, that Venus is leaving your Lagna and going to your second house, and your Lagnesh is going to get exalted till the 22nd, and then will be going to your fifth house. So again, both the transits are very positive, and Jupiter, being the Lord of the seventh, is going to get direct. Also, Mars, being the lord of the 6th and the 11th, is going to go retrograde, so which is not, again, a negative transit for you. So, and Sun is also coming to your Kendra, so it is definitely going to be a positive week, a positive month for you. So what exactly is happening when Venus and Mercury are changing signs? So it's good for financials. Maybe you will be making some extra expenditures on your lifestyle, on your household stuff. You might be changing the tapestry, maybe painting your house or something. So you're going to be doing all that. You're actually following an emotional path during this transit of Venus in your second house. You're emotional, you're thinking about financials also. At the same time, you're thinking about your family values, family you're getting connected with. So it is definitely bringing about that synchronization well. You are actually very practical during this time, but with Venus going into the emotional sign, you are unable to make decisions practically. You're very emotional, and you're very emotional about your budget planning. Or maybe you are trying to save money. You don't want to spend a lot of money during this time as well. Mercury is at a good place, exalted in your Kendra. So being the Kendra Lord in the Kendra, people will be saying that this is forming a Ruchak Yoga, the Malavya. It is going to be forming a Panchamahapurush Yoga. So that is something which we have to understand, that these yogas are actually not mentioned in any of the classical texts. These yogas are applicable to the ones who are born with the uh, uh, Pancha Mahapurush Yoga. So there is obviously Panch Mahapurush Yoga forming because of Jupiter also, because of Mercury also, but for the babies who are born during this time, one must understand. So it is good for you, but Mercury in the Kendra transiting through the fourth house is good for financials, good for investments, and good for getting connected with your family members. You'll be very emotionally and attached to the family. You'll be meticulous about your relationships, and you'll be communicative also, expressive also here. So utilize this transit in case you have to write some book or anything you have to initiate during this Mercury transiting through the Virgo sign. Please do it. You are very organized in your investments also. You're thinking about growth. So it's good. At the place of work, you're very communicative with your co-workers, with your seniors. They are supportive. Jupiter being the 10th lord is also getting direct, positive for you. Okay, so utilize this Jupiter's transit as well, which is happening after the 10th, which is again very positive. Let me show you what's happening next. Mars is getting retrograde. Okay, so Mars getting retrograde here is not considered to be bad for you because it is going to give you elevation in the financials. It is coming towards your 10th house. So there can be that you are going to be changing some, work area. Maybe you'll be changing your place of work, you're going to be traveling, or you're going to be fetching some orders, big orders. So all that energy is pretty heightened with Mars coming towards your 10th house zone. It's a positive transit. You will be working out during this time a lot, and you will be eating right kind of things because it's the 6th lord also. We must not forget, 6th lord is going to the 11th house, so it is going to give you desire fulfillment as well. So being in retrogression, it is not moving towards the 12th house, it is moving towards the 10th. So maybe you will be getting some name and fame, you'll be acquiring a lot of knowledge, you will be meeting with your friends. Do not go aggressive in a negative manner. Being aggressive at the place of work is perfectly fine to complete the tasks. So it is going to give you that energy, and you're going to be doing that and utilizing it also. Financial planning also you're going to be doing during this time. Then we have Sun transiting out of the 3rd house and will be going towards the 4th. So 4th house transit is basically of Sun is not, it's Sun being in a watery place. Actually 4th house is a watery place for Sun. So Sun feels little too emotional here, which is not the Sun energy. But yes, it is not a bad transit for you because the 3rd lord is going to be second from itself. So property matters related to some authority, if you're a leader or a politician. So this is going to be a good transit for you. You'll be communicative, you will be getting, you'll be attaining that strength and energy and authority, and you will be recognized at the place of work also because Sun is looking at your 10th house from there. So whatever you have to complete the task that you have to complete, or you have to maybe strike a conversation with your clients, foreign clients, you do it during this time, because then Sun is going to be going to your 5th house, though it is not a bad place, but it is in debility. So you have to be making sure that you utilize this month especially for making decisions regarding your property matters, regarding your workplace, regarding change of place. Maybe you are going to be changing place also. Do take care of your health. I repeatedly say that because Saturn is transiting your 8th house. So 8th house transit generally, gives pain in the feet region, body aches. So you can have some lower abdominal issues also. So take care of that. Okay. Otherwise, it is not, things are improving. We must not forget that Rahu and Ketu are changing signs also this month. And that is happening on the 19th, the true Rahu and the true Ketu. So that is happening in your 12th and 6-12 axis. So I have made several videos on, I think 4 parts I've made on Rahu Ketu transit. So you can go and watch that as well. But yes, this is going to be a positive transit for you because it is leaving the 1-7 axis at least. So whatever you could not achieve, or something which was very unconventional, unfulfillment, you were feeling, all that is going to be going towards better. Things are going to be improving with Rahu Ketu changing signs this month. Because in the 12th house, Rahu will give you addiction to finish off the tasks. You want to seclude yourself, and you have a lot of energy to do the task that you have been assigned. You are in isolation. You want to contemplate, introspect during this time even more. So this will give you addiction, but towards positive. So if it is not positive, make it positive. I would request you, because it is in the practical sign, in the fixed sign of Taurus. So you are thinking about growth, you're thinking about expenditures, you're thinking about acquiring wealth as well. So make sure that you take care of your lower abdominal region, maybe some gallbladder, or something appendix related issue you can have, because Mars is also going to be aspecting the zone of sixth house of yours. So you have to be taking care of your health in case you have combination and permutation like this in your natal horoscope as well. So it can give you some health issues. So you have to be taking care. For student natives, it's a very good month to start with. You are going to be obviously starting something new, some educational growth that I can see in your horoscope. You know, in the Gemini horoscope, it's a positive transit for the student natives. They're going to be having a lot of energy with Saturn also going direct. It is definitely going to bring about some major decision making that you have to do about your higher learning and higher education. So do it. This is going to be a good month for you. Acquire knowledge. That's what. There are certain dates that I want to mention because, you know, you have to be taking care of your health, your skin. So just avoid these dates. 6th, 7th of September, you have to take care of your eating habits. You can eat something wrong and then you can have skin related issues. And you have to be taking care on the 8th and 9th as well. Maybe, you know, you can have some skin problem or some mouth region, you can have some issues, or you can have some communication gap with your family members as well. So make sure that you take the right kind of decisions. On the 15th and 16th, you can, you know, have some confused state of mind, and you can land up into making some investments or some wrong investments. Your money gets stuck up. So be careful about that as well. Otherwise, I think all the other places are good, especially on the 29th, 30th, you can again have some decision making which can lack practical approach. So make sure that you make right kind of decisions on the dates that I have given you, and take care of your health. Eat right kind of food. Greens you must have, you know, mainly greens will help you because Gemini rising is owned by Mercury. So eat greens, have holy basil in the morning, go for nature walk if you can. So all that is going to be helpful. Okay, coming to the next sign, that is Cancer. All right, for Cancer natives, first of all, on the 1st, Venus is transiting from the 12th house to your 1st house. Good transit for you. Mercury is going to be in your 3rd house from the 2nd. It's coming to the 3rd. Good transit. Then Sun is also going to be joining this Mercury. Then Saturn is going direct. Jupiter is going direct. Rahu, Ketu are changing signs towards better. And of course, Mars is going to go retrograde. Again, positive for you. I would say that this is a very happening time for you, actually. You know, you have been going through a lot because of Rahu, Ketu transiting your 12th and 6th houses also. So what is happening to start with? The initial part of the month is good, as in like you're very emotional. You are, as it is, an emotional person, but you will have a lot of, emotional bent of mind towards your partner, towards the people around you. And you will be thinking emotionally about your finances also. You will be making some real practical decision making after say 15th 16th of the month. But before that, you will be very emotional, you'll be impractical maybe. So be careful. Don't go overboard in making decisions which are not going to pay off later. Okay, so be careful about that. Plan your budget, but very good time to get emotionally attached to your partner. Then Mercury is going to be transiting your 3rd house, which is again a good transit. It's a place where Mercury sits, it owns in the natural zodiac also. So communication wise, you'll be very practical. You'll be having a lot of communication with your people around you. You'll be actually having a very practical kind of an approach towards your communication with your neighbors, siblings, with the people around you. You'll be pursuing hobbies, maybe writing, or maybe, you'll be getting into some kind of journal, maybe you're a journalist, so you'll be writing something or doing something big. Media people, they're going to be doing well. So with this, these two planets to start with, it's going to be giving you good results, being the Lord of the 12th. So they can be that your siblings are going to get some, some foreign job, or, some foreign clientele, which is going to be positive for you. Take care of your, of course, siblings' health also though, but at the same time, it's good for your relationship with your sibling and your father. Okay, then Sun is also going to be, Mars is going to go retrograde. This is a screen 2, so chart 2. So this is Mars, which is the Lord of the 10th, is going to go retrograde and coming towards the sign of Pisces. So in retrogression, it will obviously be demoted again to the Pisces sign. So see, this is not a bad placement, but you know what will happen? There can be that you are making decisions more impractically. You're not practical. Your approach towards making decisions is losing grip. Maybe, you know, at the place of work, you are having some problems in maintaining cordial relation with your people. Your miscommunication is leading to the downfall, or reputation is going to suffer. Some name and fame that you know, is getting blemished. Something which is going to actually hinder your growth. It is going to hinder the growth during the time when Mars goes retrograde. At the same time, you know, maybe you have achieved a lot during this time, but you have to be extra cautious when Mars, being your Yogacara Graha, is going retrograde. It's not a positive one, because it's the Lord of the 5th and the 10th going retrograde. So there can be some connectivity issues with your children. Children might have health issues, prone to accidents. So take care of your children also. Get connected with your seniors, you know, sort things out. There can be some communication gap. There can be some kind of misunderstandings that you have to face during this Mars retrogression. So make sure that you make the right kind of decisions at the place of work as well. Then we have Sun changing sign here. Sun is going to be joining Mercury on the 16th. So this is a positive transit. Sun in the 3rd house is positive as it is. So it is going to be having some kind of, you know, reputation in, you know, it is going to balance things out. What I said about Mars retrogression. So post 70th, you will be feeling that it is balancing at the place of work. A lot of balancing factor with Sun coming to your 3rd house. Communication with your siblings, with your father, with the neighbors is going to improve, with your classmates, the outer world. You know, you're going to be actually getting connected and going to be sorting things out during Sun's transiting through the 3rd house. And a lot of authority also you can get there. Don't have, you know, don't expect too much of authority with your people around you, you know, with your own people, with your family members. You're being very authoritative, so that can lead to some kind of communication gap. But at the same time, it's positive for you because it is the Lord of the 2nd. So you will be thinking about financial growth as well. Then we have Rahu Ketu changing signs here. Can you see? Rahu and Ketu are changing sign from the 6-12 axis to 5-11 axis, which is again a positive transit for you. Growth prospects, fulfillment of desires, whatever you will wish, that wish fulfillment time is happening. That starting point is when Rahu and Ketu are changing signs. So this is going to be a good 18 months period, and it is definitely going to be positive, with some obviously negatives when planets are going to be getting conjunct, like eclipses time, or when, you know, moon is transiting through these signs, you know, every month. So that's the time you have to be taking care of. But otherwise, a positive, you know, month for you to start with. And of course, Rahu, we have to see when they're changing sign, Rahu Ketu, we have to see the condition of Venus and Mars also, because they are the dispositional lords of Rahu and Ketu. So you can, because Rahu is, you know, dispositional lord is Venus, is in the emotional sign. So there can be that you will be thinking a lot of emotions. There's a lot of emotional energy with Rahu changing sign, and Mars in retrogression. So this can also lead to some kind of problems with your children. Related to your communication with your people around you at the place of work. So not a good time for investments. I would say just avoid till the at least end of the month. When Saturn gets direct, things will be improving also. Okay, and Jupiter is getting direct for you as well in the 6th house and will be going towards the 7th house. Again, a positive transit for you. This month is positive in every respect, I would say. So utilize this month at least. The energy is pretty strong and positive. Okay, so making decisions regarding your higher learning, higher education, pilgrimage, whatever, you know, you have to make decisions about travels. So this is the month you will be actually found that foundational month, as we know, as we call. So this is going to be a positive month for you. Okay, for student natives also it's positive, because you know Ketu and Mars are getting connected. So you have to actually be, there's a lot of energy. The energy flow is very strong. So you have to be, don't get overwhelmed. You are having a lot of options. So pick and choose rather than just going haywire and making decisions. Pick and choose. Give it some time to make decisions. You have to hear my weeklies, how the week is going to be with the moons transiting, the houses. How is it going to be impacting you? So the good and the bad dates will be mentioned in that, when moon is transiting your 8th house, your 12th house. So I do mention, so that is how you should be seeing your, because your Lord is moon. So that's the swiftest. So whenever it is joining Saturn, it is joining Rahu. So we have to be, or Sun, as a matter of fact, we have new moon. So we have to see the condition of the moon transit when we have to see your rising sign. Okay, so stay tuned for the weekly transits and you will get to know. Coming to the next sign, that's Leo. All right, for Leo, your Lagnesh is also going to be in the first house for at least 15-16 days here. So it's positive for you. And Mars is again in the Dharma Trikona. Jupiter is going to get direct in this month and in the Dharma Trikona. And then the Artha Trikona is also going to get active with Sun also going to your second house and Mercury there. And of course, Venus is in your 12th house in the sign of Cancer. And Rahu Ketu will be changing sign this month. So if you want to hear what exactly does this mean on the mundane level, please go back and hear the initial summary. That will help you. Now coming to this one, see, we have a good yoga which is forming here. If you can see, the Lagna is in Shubh Kartari with Venus and Mercury on the sides. So definitely a positive strength giving time for you. This month is very, very positive because of certain reasons I'll be explaining. So to start with, Venus is going to be in the sign of the Cancer sign, though it was in the 11th house and now coming to the 12th. But it's still better because, Venus is going to be coming out of Rahu Ketu axis. So it is gaining strength here, emotional about your expenditures. You are thinking about spending on your spouse, on your siblings, or maybe siblings are going to be going abroad or they're getting good assignments here. Being the 10th Lord going to the 12th, it's better to channelize your energy. In case you have to invest somewhere, you should be doing it somewhere abroad, somewhere where you are, from there, whatever is abroad for you. So that will fetch you good amount of business and money as well. Growth prospects are on the high. With Mercury also in the second house, being the Lord of the 11th. So it is definitely forming a Dhana Yoga also, like in a way for growth prospects. This transit is definitely positive because the Lagnesh is also going to be going there, in the second house, that is Sun, post the 16th. So you have to be actually planning your financials well, and you should be going in for, in case you have to go for heavy investments also, positive transit for you. This month is a very good month for you. Utilizes you this because you're going to be making major decisions during this time. It is definitely on the cards. Growth is on the cards, and with Mercury being the positive graha for this zodiac, for Leo, it is going to be in your second house. Again, a very, very strength giving planet here. So Mercury, is basically, it is communication, also trade, business, how you deal with people. So all that is Mercury. So how you talk to people, what do you want to convey to people, with your family members, as a matter of fact, also for your financials, also whatever planning you have to do, you should be doing during this time. Lay the planning for the whole year, I would say, during this time. Financials, it will help you. For education also very good, in case you have to go in for some education, higher learning, or you want to study some new subjects. So you plan during this time what all you have to do. It will help you. And next is that Mars is going to go retrograde. In the next chart I'll be showing, Mars is going to go retrograde for you. So Mars is a positive graha. Again, it's a yoga kara graha, being the Lord of the 4th and the 9th, and it's the Bhagyesh also. So Bhagya Lord the fate Lord is going to go retrograde, which is actually not a positive thing. And then it is going to go back to the 8th house, a demoted Mars. So you have to be not dependent, don't be dependent upon your luck. It's not going to be in your favor that way. If you are working hard, definitely a positive one. But if you're dependent that I will start something and luck will take care of it, that is not going to happen. So avoid depending on the luck. The luck factor is missing because Mars is going to go retrograde. The energy is very high, but at the same time you're unable to utilize this energy. It's underutilized energy with Mars getting retrograde. You can have some problems or clashes with your family members also, so you have to take care of that. Some communication gap here and there after the 10th. Then then we have sun coming out of the first house and joining this Mercury. So again, it is positive, as I said, because it is forming a dhani yoga and it is going to enhance your financials. Jupiter has also gotten direct on the 10th, so it is definitely a positive transit for you. On the 12th, Jupiter gets direct, so this is also going to be positive. Jupiter getting direct and Mars getting retrograde is actually balancing things, I would say. And Sun, your Lagnesh, is also going to be transiting henceforth, you know, the third house and the fourth and the fifth and the sixth. So these are all not that bad placements for Sun. So it is going to give you strength. You're going to be having a lot of desires fulfillment during this time. Investments are going to be pushing, you'll be pushing towards investments, and you will be gaining strength, and a lot of expenditures also, undoubtedly, because your 10th lord is going to the 12th house in the sign of Cancer, and Cancer is fluctuating, remember. So a lot of expenditures and then regrets. So don't waste money. Try and be practical in your expenses. You will have a lot of cordial relationship with your bosses, with your seniors, with your co-workers, and you will be communicative. You will be finishing off the projects, getting foreign clientele, good time, good phase. And Jupiter is also separating from this Ketu. So it is also slowly and gradually gaining that strength. Students are going to be doing well. They're going to be pursuing their courses, new courses they have to opt for. Positive. I have already made the Ketu and Rahu transit video for you. You can go back and watch. Rahu is going to be in your 10th and Ketu in your 4th. So in the 4th house, it brings about some problems with your family members, and then there can be some problems in education also. There can be some break in education also with Ketu Rahu changing sign. So take care of your relationship with your family members. Good time at the place of work though. There can be some confused state of mind, but at the same time, you will be sailing through this phase with Rahu being in the sign of Venus own. So it is definitely a positive place. And Moon exalts here, we should not forget. And Rahu and Moon are, Rahu in the sign where, Moon exalts is not considered to be bad. It is actually the energy is tamed. The negative energy is tamed there. So positive. And definitely you can make decisions regarding the place change, or if you have to make any kind of, but take care of your reputation, because Rahu in the 10th house also gives some problems related to reputation also. So don't have any kind of relationship which is, forming an illegitimate relationship at the place of work. Be careful about that. Okay. And make a note of the dates that I'm giving you. You have to be a little extra cautious in September month when, these dates are, I'm mentioning, so you have to be taking care of your health or financials. 4th, 5th, you have to take care of your health, your eyesight. You can have some problem in your skin also. Skin rashes can erupt. So take care. Then we have on the 14th, 15th, 16th, your expenditures are going to high. Expenditures are going to get too much heavy. Investments maybe you will make and then you will regret. So be careful. Do not make any decision on the 14th, 15th, 16th regarding your investments, regarding your expenditures. So I think you should postpone if you have to buy something. Maybe your decision making is going haywire somewhere. So avoid spending during this time. And then we have on the 19th, 20th, 21st, you can have problems or clashes with some kind of problems in your relationship. You can have some, maybe too much of authority, too much of dominance in your relationship with your spouse, with your partner, or with your family members, and then it backfires. There can be some problems or clashes there. Take care on the 22nd, 23rd also, because that can also give you that kind of similar kind of a feeling, that dominance, and also that can lead to some kind of separative tendencies with your family members. So be calm, be careful. And of course, you have some kind of problems on the 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th. So these are the dates when you can have some problems related to your litigation. You can have some wrong investments, or there can be some clashes with your bosses or your partner, or your business partner, or your life partner. So make sure that you have cordial relationships with your people. I will be making a separate video on the Venus transit, so that the love readings I can give you that time. So don't get disheartened. I'll be taking care of the love readings as well. So this is a good month for you overall, but I would say just don't depend on your luck. Things are going to improve, but you have to take care of your health as well. Okay. Coming to the next sign, that is Virgo. All right, for Virgo, your Lagnesh is going to come to your Lagna, and it is going to be exalted there. Positive transit for you. You can be making major decisions regarding your investments, regarding your business, regarding trade. So this is, or education, as a matter of fact. You're going to be very organized. So utilize this transit. You'll be very meticulous, planning your way. So positive transit for you, utilize it. And at the place of work, maybe there is some change coming in, or there is some elevation which you can expect. Venus is also going to be in the sign of Cancer to start with. The first itself, Venus is going to be in Cancer. So positive transit, because it is going to be giving you a lot of emotional bent of mind in your, with your community you move around, or your family members, your elder siblings, your friends. So you're going to be meeting your friends often, maybe, online party or something. So this is going to be positive, and it's good for getting emotionally attached to your, partner also, your romantic partner. So it's positive. And it is the Lord of the second going to the 11th. So financially, you're going to be doing well. Investments are going to pay off. So no regrets. Utilize this transit of Venus and Mercury, especially. Then we have, Mars going retrograde on the 10th. So this is going to be happening in your 8th house. Again, positive, because this is a malefic and going retrograde. It is a bitter enemy of Mercury. So going retrograde, it will minimize the impact, and then it will be demoted. So whatever significations of Mars are, you're getting aggressive, you're getting some health issues, or you're going overboard in making decisions regarding your property matters, and you're not able to make decisions, right kind of decisions. So all that is going to be giving you positive results now. The impact is going to be different. It's going to be opposite for whatever you have been feeling in the direct motion when Mars was in Aries. So it is definitely going to be a positive one. And we have and then Sun is changing sign as well from the 12th house. So it is positive again. It is going to give you that thought process, which is going to be enhancing your leadership qualities. You'll be communicative. Maybe you will be getting connected with your bosses, your seniors, your co-workers, and you'll be making decisions regarding your projects that you have actually planned for. So again, it's a positive transit. I've mentioned what exactly does this mean in the initial summary part. You can go and hear that as well. But I feel that this is a very crucial and a very important month for you, where your Lagnesh is getting exalted. So this is a very, very positive transit. You must utilize it. And Jupiter is also going to go direct, in the Kendra. So in its own sign, Jupiter getting direct is a positive one, because it is going to give you the results now. Wisdom. It's going to give you a lot of right kind of choices that you're going to be making, right decision making. And also it is going to give you some educational bent of mind. You're going to be thinking of growth. You're thinking about enhancing your educational background, your skills. So positive for you. Saturn is also going to go direct, of course, and how can we forget that? So it is your positive graha, and it is going to give positive results as well. So in case you have to make decisions regarding your litigation and all, so you will be actually thinking of doing that as per your professional growth also is concerned, is going to be getting improved with Saturn going direct. The stagnancy that you have been going through is going to get momentum and is going to move in the forward motion now with Saturn, the slow moving planet, going direct, because it is in the 5th house zone. So it has been giving a lot of effort making in the for the students as well in that zone. So they are going to be doing well. They're going to gain that momentum, that the hard work that they're doing is going to be paid off now. So positive and utilize it in case you have to make any kind of decisions regarding your investments. I think this is the month you should be. This is a foundational month. Then we have lastly, you know, Rahu Ketu changing signs. So till now you were having problems at home front, at the place of work. Now this is going to give you a lot of strength. The luck is going to be in your favor. Rahu is going to be in the sign of Venus, and Venus is, to start with, in the sign of Cancer. So wish fulfillment, luck is in your favor. So you are going to be utilizing this time because it's the starting phase. Utilize it. Ketu and Mars are forming a 1-8 relationship, though Mars is in retrogradation also, and Ketu is, you know, dispositional lord is Mars. So you can have some problems regarding your, you know, relationship with your siblings. With your father, you can have some clashes. You can have some misunderstanding with your communication, you know, more often. You can have some, you know, property related matters that you were supposed to make. They're going to get delayed, or you're not making the right kind of choices. In case you have to sell off the property, you know, this is going to get delayed, or you not get the price that you're looking at. So that is something you have to be taken care of. But very good for, you know, good transit positions this month for investments. Good time for making choices about changing of place, changing of home. You're changing your workplace maybe. So growth is reflected. And finally, Virgos can take a relief sigh. Okay, sigh of relief. Okay, so that is something which is going to be giving you some heightened energy. Okay, sometimes, you know, you miss out on words and then people start making fun. That's okay. So it doesn't actually bother me much, but yes, I had to clarify at times. So coming to the next sign, oh yeah, I have to tell you some dates, you know, where you have to be a little extra cautious when these transit positions take place. Take care of your health, take care of your decision making on the 4th and the 5th. You can go little haywire in making decisions regarding your financials. Do not make decisions on these dates. Then on the 13th and 14th, take care of your health and watch out. Your tongue, you know, you can go little rough. Your speech can go rough and it can hurt people as well. So take care of your speech during this time. And when on the 20th and 21st, you can be spending something, you know, on things which are not of any use later. So be careful in your expenditures. Don't isolate yourself much on these dates. It's not going to be helpful. So take care. You can have some clashes with your siblings or with your children also, you know. So take care on the especially 29th and 30th. In your romantic association, in your romantic life also, you can have some communication gaps. So watch out. Okay. Coming to the next sign, that is Libra. All right. For Libra, this is going to be a mixed bag for you because there are certain planetary configurations which are really good, helpful, and there are certain which are not really that good. So to start with, your Lagnesh is going to be going from the 9th house. Conjunct Rahu is going to be in the sign of Cancer in the Kendra. So it is a positive one, and it is aspected by Saturn also here. So there is a lot of energy, lot of luck at the place of work, which is going to enhance, and it is going to give you positive energy at the place of work as well. You will be making certain decisions which are actually not biased, and your female co-workers are going to be supportive, and they're going to be actually helping you at the place of work, also completing the tasks, and you'll be assigned new tasks, and achievement of those tasks is quite likely to start with. Mercury is going to go to your 12th house zone. So 12th house zone, maybe, you know, you will be actually traveling, planning for travels, or maybe some foreign clientele that you'll be actually getting associated with, new associates, new clientele, new businesses, growth. So that is something which Mercury will give, because Mercury is a positive graha for you. But don't make expenses or don't invest in places where you feel that it is going to be a little bit of doubt. Just avoid. So it's not going to be helpful if you land up into, there is no reversal. Maybe you will invest and then you will be feeling that it was it just backfired. So be careful about that. Then we have Mars getting retrograde, positive for you actually. One second. Mars is going to go retrograde in the 7th house zone. In the direct motion, it was creating a lot of havoc at the place, or with your partner, within your relationship, or with your business partner as well. You were having a lot of problems related to your, relationship. So you will be actually making up, and with retrograde planets, with the malefics getting retrograde, it's positive actually, because it is the 7th lord also, and it is the 2nd lord also going retrograde, and it is the pure maraka also. One must not forget that. So it is definitely going to be giving you a lot of relief there at the home front. You will be having cordial relationship with your wife or your husband or your partner, or whatever, you have some difference of opinion, that will get sorted. So positive for you. Investments are going to be little tough for you this month, so avoid. Jupiter is also going to go direct, and Jupiter being the lord of your 3rd and your 6th is going to go direct, which is again a positive one for you, and it is going to be giving you some positive energy in making decisions regarding your financials, regarding your investments, and regarding your um, uh, education also. You're going to be attaining knowledge during this time. See, even if you are not gaining that kind of financials, but you're gaining through learning certain things. This is a learning process. We all are in that learning process. So I think you should be going in that positive direction and take this transit as a positive transit also. It's going to be helpful for you. Of course, Saturn is also going to be going direct this month, so it is again a positive one for you. And we have Sun also transiting through the sign of Virgo on the 16th, and it's going to be in the 12th house zone. See, 12th house zone Sun is not that bad, but because it's the early morning Sun, so it is not that bad. But at the same time, you will have some kind of problems in making decisions regarding your authority, leadership qualities. You can go a little, on the isolation spree. You are spending on things which are not required, or maybe your father is hospitalized, you have to take him to the hospital, take care of him. So all that can also happen. Or maybe you're traveling, on a pilgrimage you want to go. So you are actually in that learning process, with Jupiter also going direct. Positive for you. You're thinking about growth, you're thinking about expenditures also, and Rahu Ketu are also going to be changing signs, not to forget, from the 3-9 axis to 2-8 axis. So that is something, and thankfully it is not aspecting your Lagna. For heaven's sake, this is something which is positive. You have been going through a lot because of the Libra affliction. So this is going to be little relief. But at the same time, you have to be taking care of your health. Some undiagnosed kind of a disease comes up when Rahu is transiting the 8th house, or you will not find a right kind of doctor. You are not getting that kind of treatment that you're looking at. Some problems related to I have seen in many horoscopes that Rahu in the 8th house gives problems in making decisions regarding your property matters or real estate matters as well, investments. So this can give you some kind of break, but it is in the sign which is the sign of is Ardha Trikona, and it is the sign of finance. So it is going to give you elevation there. Ketu in the 2nd house depletes the wealth, the savings. So you have to be very cautious in your expenditures, as it is Mercury and Sun are in the 12th house this month. So it is going to give you some kind of expenditures on things which you don't require, and then you feel that this was actually I should have avoided. Okay, so you have to be taking care of that, the investments and the expenditures as well. Overall, your Lagnesh is well positioned, so I don't think so there is any kind of problems, because the Lagnesh has to be strong to give the results. And the 8th lord is in the 10th, so there can be some problems at the place of work with the female co-workers, or they will be coming to your rescue you have to make sure that you be on the positive side, utilize this. So there are certain dates that I'm giving you. Be careful in making decisions about financials or about changing the job or something. If you have to make any major decisions, avoid. Okay, so first of all, we have to be careful on the um, 10th and the 11th. Financials, you have to be really, really cautious. If you have to make investments, you have to buy something, don't do it on this day. Then on the 23rd and 24th, you have to take care of your health. You have to take care of your decision making regarding your investments. Be careful on these dates, especially. Okay. Otherwise, I think it is a positive month and it is going to lead to some positive energy and growth to you. So utilize it. Just be careful on the, you can be cautious on the 5th and the 6th and the 7th also. Little bit of problem I could see. So I said that, you know, you should be taking care of your health, and you have to take care of your spouse's health as well. Okay. Take care. Coming to the next sign, that is Scorpio. All right, for Scorpio people, this is going to be a mixed bag for you. As you know, your Lagnesh is transiting the 6th house and is going to go retrograde as well this month. So this is going to be giving you some kind of, energies which are going to actually deplete you. Actually, you are going to be feeling that the things are not moving in the right direction. You have initiated something enthusiastically and now it is falling apart. That is happening after the 10th. So whatever decisions you have made already, utilize these 10 days to complete the task. Before the 10th, of course, it's going to go stationary. So before the 9th, if you want to make any decisions, you should. Venus, being the lord of the 7th, is going to be transiting your 9th house, and it is going to give you that luck factor. It is going to give you some kind of good energy at home front. It is going to be giving you some emotional attachments with your partner, with your, with your father. You'll be getting very well connected with the people around you. Positive. Mercury is going to be transiting your 11th house, which is again positive for investments. In case you have to, just go ahead blindly. You can, actually, definitely, many factors will depend on your personal chart, but Mercury transiting your 11th house in exaltation is going to give you a lot of energy in making decisions regarding investments. Positive. Jupiter, being the lord of the 2nd, is also going to go direct, so it is definitely a positive transit for you. Then we have Sun transiting through the sign of Leo as well, so that is also something which is positive, and it is going to be giving you some positive energy there. Mars is going to be going retrograde on the 10th. So that is something which is going to be, again, giving you low on energy. Some decisions regarding your court case is going to get deferred and it's going to go postponed. It's getting postponed. Delays are visible. So the oppositions are gaining strength, remember. So in case you have to finish off some things, so do it before the 9th, before Mars loses the potency. Okay, and Sun is going to be in the 11th house. Of course, I showed the wrong chart earlier. So this is going to be in the 11th house. Again, it is positive because you will get growth at the place of work. You'll be recognized for whatever tasks you have been assigned. You will be recognized and you'll be doing well at the place of work. So utilize this and make the best use of your authority. Be a leader. Help others derive that leadership qualities in them. Utilize it. Be communicative. Maybe with your elder sibling, you will be getting support. You'll be getting support from your parents, or some senior at the place of work will be very supportive. So utilize this transit for yourself. Then we have Rahu Ketu changing sign as well. After Jupiter and Saturn also are getting direct though, but Rahu Ketu are coming to your Lagna and your 7th house zone. So this is something which is not looking that good, because this axis, when it's getting active, some major changes come into your life. You're going to get a little detached from your own self, your own thought process. You'll be changing. The perspective is going to change. I have already made a video on the same. You can go back and hear. I don't remember what I said there, but this is what it means. But you should always, be careful while, first of all, driving, taking care of yourself. You're accident prone, and you have a very maybe spiritual kind of a bent of mind. Don't isolate yourself, be normal. Don't be rude with people. It is going to help you if you are very polite with them rather than being rude. People will help you. People will come to your rescue if you're polite and you are humble. Okay, so all those energies are going to get enhanced, and definitely it is going to be giving you some different angle to your life. How you look at your life, things are going to change for sure. So Saturn is going to go direct by the end of the month. So that is also positive, because Saturn is going to gain strength in the third house zone. It is happy there. So whatever, the task or whatever the stuck up, projects that you were in, they are all going to get complete, and your communication is going to improve with people around you. That restriction is going to be there, whatever you will speak. So that will actually be taken care of, which is positive. Mars and Saturn are in the Kendra to each other. So definitely, one is very aggressive and one is not. So it is going to tame that energy. And Mars, that is the reason, it exalts in the Saturn sign also. So these energies are going to give you, that's why I said it's a mixed bag for you, but it is going to be giving you some kind of, decision making, some major decision making this month. You will be making decisions regarding your financials. You'll be making decisions regarding your travels, regarding your marriage, regarding your, litigations, investments, and the relationship with your spouse as well as your family members. You're going to be thinking about all this during this month. For student natives, it's a very, very good month. They will be actually traveling. They'll be actually maybe, traveling as in they'll be enrolling themselves in a higher, universities, or they'll be taking major examinations during this time. And it's a successful phase for them. Utilize it, because the Lord of the fifth is getting direct on the 10th, on the 12th, sorry. So utilize this transit. Okay, positive for you. Jupiter and Mars are friends, we should not forget. So definitely a positive one. I'm giving you a few dates where you have to be taking care. There are not many dates, but you see, with your spouse, with your family members, you have to be taking care from the 1st till the 23rd. There is a lot of energy and a lot of boost of energy is required also after Mars gets retrograde, because then it will be obviously moving back to the sign of Pisces. So you have to be taking care of your relationships this month. That is something which you have to be taking care. In case you have to make decisions regarding litigation and all, you can do it after 24th till the 30th. This is the time when you will be actually defeating the competitors around you. You'll be winning. You're a winner. Okay, you're the leader. So utilize it. Okay, coming to the next sign, that is Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius people, you're gaining strength this month because Jupiter finally is going to go direct and is going away from this Ketu and Rahu zone as well. Positive for you. Definitely, definitely positive transit for you. And to start with, I'm showing this screen first because Venus and Mercury are changing signs here, if you can see. So Venus is coming to the 8th house. It is not considered that bad, but you have to be taking care of your health, decisions regarding vehicles, driving, in case you are, relationship. You have to be a little extra cautious in these zones. Otherwise, it is not that bad. Because Venus is a Sanjeevani, we must remember, it is going to be positive for you. Then Mercury is also going to be transiting the sign of Virgo, which is the Kendra house. It is the sign of exaltation for Mercury. Your communication, that gap that you had with your seniors, with your co-workers, is going to get filled, and you're going to be getting strength there. You're going to be communicative. Your colleagues and your bosses are going to be very happy for whatever you're doing. There is growth on the cards, and there is definitely some kind of reputation, or some hard work is being paid off kind of a scenario, which is going to get enhanced in your case. Good time to communicate with your partner, business partner, for investments. Positive, definitely a positive month for you. Then we have Mars getting retrograde on the 10th, and it is going to be retrograding in your 5th house. Mars is the positive graha for this Sagittarius people, and if it is going retrograde, that means there is some creative energy which is lacking. Mars is the strength, energy. So that energy is missing, especially in the student natives. They are unable to focus on their education, studies. You should actually chant Hanuman Chalisa for gaining that strength. If you feel ever low on power, low on energy, you should be chanting Hanuman Chalisa always. I do that because it helps you, and it helps you attain that focus also. We all are having sometimes that focus missing out on our life, in our lives. So we have to focus to attain that. You have to bank on Hanuman Chalisa. Hanumanji is the Lord who is actually is there around us all the time. So he listens to us also. Then we have, of course, Sun is going to be transiting the sign of Virgo as well. The Bhagesh coming to the 10th house. So it is the Bhagya Uday, as we say. It is going to enhance your luck also, and it is going to give you strength at the place of work, leadership qualities. It's the Zenith part where Sun is entering, and it is definitely going to give you a lot of energy and leadership qualities at the place of work. If you have any kind of projects lined up, finish them off. It is like a desire fulfillment in case you have to change the place of work or you have to change the department. This is on the cards. You're going to be doing that. It is positive, and it is going to be looking at your 4th house also. So some authoritative energy there as well with your family members, some kind of communication which is very authoritative, and they're going to be listening to you, or you're going to be buying some property also during this time. So you'll get good price, if you sell it off, and if you are buying, you will get it at a very reasonable price as well. It's positive for you. This transit this month is very beautiful for you. Why? Because from the Lagna, Rahu Ketu axis is leaving. So whenever Rahu Ketu axis is getting, deactive from the particular zone, it is definitely, especially 1-7 axis, it is definitely going to be positive. Coming to the 6th and Rahu Ketu in the 6th and 12th zone, it is actually, if I have made the videos on the same, you can go back and in the playlist, you will find all the videos under Rahu Ketu heading. So here, in the 6th house is not considered bad. It's quite similar to Sun's placement actually, of Rahu Ketu. So here it is going to give you some kind of inclination to complete the task, to get connected with your co-workers, get help from everybody around you, grow financially, plan financials. Expenditures definitely are going to be curtailed with Ketu in the 12th house. You have a lot of expenses. You have been making a lot of expenses. And remember, this is the zone where moon debilitates. Ketu is going to the place where moon debilitates. Remember, when moon is, whenever connecting with this Ketu, for everybody, I'm saying this, whosoever is having this kind of combination, that will be really, giving you a lot of mood swings and a lot of energy, negative energy in that particular zone where moon is also joining this Ketu. Be careful. It's the 12th house zone. Don't isolate yourself for long. Don't go on the, isolating spree towards negative. If you're isolating yourself for spiritual growth, meditation, writing a journal, you're planning something for the future, then it's perfectly fine. Isolating is required. You need that alone time to decide certain things. But at the same time, do not isolate yourself for negatives, that you're going into depression, you're feeling lonely, and you're feeling down and out. Don't go into that zone. It's not required. It's a passing phase. It will go. These transit positions are not permanent. They're not. So if you have that strength to face this all, perfect. You be strong. Okay. So this is what the whole month looks like, and it is definitely positive. And you have to be taking care of your, of course, you have to be taking care of your health, your feet region especially, and you have to take care of your liver region also. You can have some kind of liver related problems or diabetes, or you can be eating inclination towards eating a lot of sweets also, sweet tooth. Be careful about that. Just make a note of these dates. You have to be taking care the whole month long of your you know, communication with your people at the place of work. Okay, it is positive though, but at the same time, you know, you can have some kind of expectation that you are being recognized, and you get that. So you might be getting that recognition also, whatever you're doing. So positive. No bad dates for you as such, but yes, whenever moon is transiting the 8th house with conjunct Venus, you please watch my weeklies. Whenever moon is in Cancer or in your 12th house zone, take care of your health and your mindset and your mood swings. Okay, I'll be making the weeklies, of course. I'll be coming back again and again every week, so please stay tuned to hear when moon is transiting these zones. So they can be little problematic zones. Okay, coming to the next sign, that is Capricorn. All right, for Capricorn people, this month is a mixed bag again for you. I think this mixed bag is towards better. So don't take it that it is going to be negative only. But for sure, Mercury and Venus are in good places. Not to worry about that. Venus is in the 7th house, so good for getting connected with your partner, with your life partner. Good for getting into physical relationship with that partner. Very hyper, you know, you can be, because Mars is also looking at this Venus, so it is definitely going to give you that strength. But Saturn is restrictive, so it will curtail lot many things as well, but positive for you. Mercury is getting the lord of the Bhagyasthana, that is the luck lord, is in the luck house, so it's exalted, positive for fetching results from your luck. It is definitely going to be in favor. You will be getting, you know, you should be actually seeking advice of your seniors, your father-like figures, gurus. Get connected with them. Good for investments. Plan your travels. It's finally going to be giving you good results, because Sun and Mercury both are coming out of your 8th house zone. So definitely a positive transit, positive month for you for making decisions regarding your future planning and your investments. Positive. Then we have Mars getting retrograde, you know, here on the 10th. Mars is going to go retrograde in your Kendra house. So this is definitely going to be a little problematic phase. Why? Because it can give you a lot of low energy levels. It can give you delays in getting the task done. So whatever you have initiated when Mars was in the direct motion in the sign of Aries, that is going to get delayed now. You're thinking of completing, but it is not. Then Mars will be going into the sign again of Pisces, demoted. I'll be making a separate video though, but it is not considered to be that great. You know, it is retrograding and demotion, you know, is not considered to be that good, because it was not supposed to be finishing this span so quickly, you know, and then it is, that is why going back, fallen, it is coming back to the sign of Pisces. So you have to be taking care of your relationship with your people around you, your work. Maybe you will have problems in fulfilling your desires. You have set your goals, you will have some problems there. Read Hanuman Chalisa to gain that energy. Energize yourself towards positive. You know, whenever the energy is depleting, you must chant Hanuman Chalisa. It is definitely going to be positive for you. And of course, being the lord of the 11th also, not to forget, you can have problems with your friends or your community you move around in also. So be careful. Then we have Sun transiting out of the 8th house and Jupiter going direct. Okay, Jupiter is getting direct on the 12th, which is again a positive one, and it is going to be in the sign of uh, Sagittarius till the 20th of November. So it is coming out of the affliction of Rahu Ketu, A. B, it is going to get direct and moving towards the 1st house. So it is definitely going to be positive. And expenditures, of course, are on the high. Take care of your expenses. Maybe you are spending on buying books, studies, higher learning. Perfect. not on hospital. Don't get hospitalized and spend, just try to take care of your liver and take care of your lower abdominal region as well. You can have pain in your body, so watch out, and get it diagnosed, get it thoroughly checked. So sun going there in the ninth house again is a positive one. You might be getting connected with your father. You might be getting some help from your father. You have to plan your financials during this time. So all that you're going to be doing. And you have a lot of authority. At the place of work, you're going to be gaining that authority and that, you know, uh, uh, completion of the tasks, the projects that you have got. So you're going to be doing all that during this time. Positive for you. Till the 19th, Rahu Ketu are going to be in the signs of Sagittarius and Gemini. So the Lord is exalted. This positional Lord is exalted. So whatever court cases or whatever litigation or competition you have to sit for, you're going to attain success there. Definitely after that, lastly, Rahu and Ketu are going to be changing signs, and Saturn is also going to be going direct by the end of the month. I'll be making a separate video on that as well. But yes, Rahu Ketu changing signs is going to be giving you some positive energy for the student natives, creative energy. You're going to be very creative and you'll be fulfilling many tasks also. You will have that rhythm. That speed will come in after the 19th as well. You can go and watch my video on Rahu Ketu transit. 4 parts I've already made in the playlist. You'll find them under the heading of Rahu and Ketu. You can just go and watch it because it is going to be very helpful. That series is very helpful, as to Rahu Ketu transit. So just check that out, and it is going to be positive for sure. Have cordial relation with your elder sibling also. There can be some clashes that you can have, or you can undergo some problems with them as well. So see, from Lagna, if you see, there is a Sarasati phase that is running for you. So it is definitely, a tough phase. People feel that from the Lagna or the moon, whichever, you feel is unafflicted in your horoscope, see that. So if it is from the Lagna, it can give you a lot of physical agony, whenever you are trying to complete certain tasks, it's getting always delayed. With Saturn going direct is going to form a little more of delay. So remember, Saturn has forgotten its significations when it was in retrogression. It was supposed to give the results of delays, obstacles, hurdles. So now it has not given you that till now in retrogression, but it is going to behave that way. It is supposed to. That is Saturn. And Mars is also retrograding in the Kendra from there. So definitely, 2 planets are going to go retrograde, with Jupiter getting direct here, but 2 other planets are going to go retrograde, like till the 28th, especially, Saturn is retrograde. But Mars, being a malefic in retrogression, is not considered to be bad, but it is going to give you low energy levels. So it is in a way positive that the aggression, that anger is tamed. At the same time, Mars, we need that energy, to finish the tasks. That inertia we need. So that is something which is missing out with Mars going retrograde. So that's why I said chant Hanuman Chalisa. It is going to actually help Saturn also, and it is going to give you strength at the home front as well as at the place of work as well, okay, to finish the tasks. Coming to the next sign, that is Aquarius. All right, how is this month of September, such an iconic month for Aquarius people? See, definitely Saturn is going to go direct. So it is going to be giving you some kind of relief there. And that's going to be happening towards the end of the month. But yes, how is this month going to be to start with? Mercury is going to be changing sign. Venus is going to be changing sign to start with. 7th house is in Shubhakartari. So whatever decisions you have to make regarding your, outside world, travels, investments, so you should be making during this time. It is positive. It is going to give you strength, and it is going to give you positive results as well. In case you have to get married or you have to decide about your relationship, so it is definitely going to be positive for you. You are maybe, thinking of getting into a relationship or deciding on the relationship you're already in. So it is going to give you that decision making. You're very emotional about things right now, with Venus also going to the 6th house zone in Cancer sign. So you're going to be very emotional I'll be making a separate video on Venus transiting through the Cancer sign though, the love readings and the financials. But as it is, in the 6th house, Venus is going to be giving you, Venus is not too happy because it debilitates in that zone. Okay. So you are feeling, but yeah, seventh house is in Shubh Kartri, I said. But at the same time, in the 6th house, Venus is not considered good. It is feeling that claustrophobic energy here because Venus is feeling very, very emotional. At the same time, not able to make decision, confused, very, very confused about relationships, especially about financials also. But whatever said and done, Mercury is in its exaltation sign. It's in the zone where it is going to be giving you. See, in the 8th house, it is not, it is neutral. It is not going to give you very good results or very bad results. But at the same time, for business, trade, commerce, you or lottery, or as a matter of fact, crypto investments, this is a good transit. 8th house transit has to be a good transit for investments, for share markets, stock markets, okay, gold. So this is going to be giving you good results for that. 5th lord has gone to the 8th. It is not good for the student natives. In case they have to make decisions, they have to be really careful about their travels, or if they have to make decisions regarding their maybe they want to travel out for higher learning, higher education, because the lord of the 5th has gone to the 8th house. Good for research work, good for occult sciences, in case you have to make decisions regarding your research, paperwork and all. You have to write some, excuse me, you have to write a paper, you can be doing that. But it is supposed to be giving some kind of health issues as well, some skin related or something to do with your stomach related issues. So be careful about your health. Then we have Mars getting retrograde. Okay, Mars is getting retrograde on the 10th, and it is getting retrograde in your 3rd house. See, 3rd house zone is Mars's zone also. Mars is very happy, siblings. It is a karaka for siblings, and for selling of the property. This is a good transit. But Mars is the energy. In the sign of Aries, initiator, sign of initiations, you have initiated something, but now with Mars getting retrograde, you're stuck. The energy is on the pausal stage. So what to do now? First of all, start chanting Hanuman Chalisa. You should be. Secondly, you should be actually taking the help of your siblings. They will be guiding factor in your life. If at all you're stuck somewhere, take the help of the siblings or sibling-like friends. This is a house of friends also. Be a little more imaginative. Don't be too aggressive. The energy is pretty heightened, but you are feeling that energy is towards, it's underutilized energy. You're missing out on what you were supposed to actually gain out of whatever you have initiated. So now you're getting frustrated. That energy is becoming very irritable kind of a phase with Mars getting retrograde. And then you'll be going towards your 2nd house again. It will be depleting your financials. So you have to plan in these 10 days, because the time period which you're heading to is going to be a little difficult. In making decisions, you will be lacking some good reasoning and you will fall prey to losses. So be careful. Do not make decisions regarding buying the property. Selling property is fine, but don't get into the buying of the property. Then we have Sun entering the 8th house zone. Okay. Sun will be in Virgo sign, going to the 8th house, being the lord of the 7th, health issues to your spouse. If you don't have a partner, you are single, then they can be that you are accident prone, or there can be a reputation at stake. Do not get into any kind of an illegitimate or mysterious kind of a relationship or a secret kind of a relationship. It will get illuminated. Whatever the hidden secrets are, they get illuminated with Sun going into a particular zone, especially the 8th house. It's like, the scorpions, they are just hiding in the, dark places, and then the sunlight comes in suddenly and they have to rush. So it's like, there is no hiding place. So don't get into any kind of shorter routes that you're taking to make money. This will fall apart, backfire. You'll regret. So be careful when you will go in for making money in a easy way. Then you know what happens. Take the high road, don't take the short road, the motorway, as we say. There are some shorter routes also, very easily, you can reach the destination, but that destination is not worth it, remember. And one day you will regret it. So I don't think so you should be getting into all that. Then we have Rahu Ketu changing sign and Saturn getting direct. Okay, here Rahu Ketu are leaving 5 and 11 axis and are coming in your 4 and 10 axis. Now, what is it going to bring about? Problems at the place of work. You are being very emotional at the place of work. There can be some problems at the home front also, but you will be able to cope that out. I have already made the 4 parts on Rahu Ketu transit. You can go and watch in the playlist. You will find it, the Rahu Ketu transiting through the sign of Taurus and Scorpio. There is Rahu Ketu heading. You'll know what exactly I mean. The elaborate manner, I have explained there. But here, what is happening? Rahu in the 4th house gives a lot of material growth and comforts also. Your desire is there because Rahu is Maya, and Ketu is detachment. So you will not be too happy at the place of work. You want to just, ignore or finish off the task and put an end and then, just wrap it up. So all those energies are pretty strong in the 10th house zone. But Rahu being in the 4th house will give you, maybe, you'll be changing your house, place, you'll be moving out from the current residence you are in, will be going and staying in an older place, older house. Old, Rahu is old also, okay? Or maybe you will be serving some old people. That's something which is a very good remedy, one should be doing. Get connected with older people, okay? Serve them, serve the disabled, because Saturn is in your 12th house as well. You should be getting connected with your, mother. Serve your mother. So all these are the remedies. So Saturn is also going to go direct. Your Lagnesh is going direct. Whatever said and done, it is in the 12th house going direct. It's going to give you better results. Expenditures are going to be, curtailed. You want to spend, but you're not. You're thinking, you're wise. You're thinking about travels now. With Saturn going direct, it's going to bring about the energies of the 12th house zone. So you might be thinking of travel, some foreign clientele, being the first lord also. So you're thinking of changing your perspective towards life. You're going to be isolating yourself, thinking about growth, thinking about how you want to manage your future, how you want to decide your future. So this will be bringing about the fag, and Saturn is going to get direct of the month. So still it is going to be taking a little time to get into that rhythm, because it will be, of course, getting stationary and then going to go ahead. So give it some time, 4-5 days time, so you will get the results. This month I think is a mixed bag and not that bad for you also. And I think you should be hearing my moon transit videos, on the weekly transits, and know when moon is going to be touching all the zodiac signs one by one. So you should be seeing when it is going to your Virgo sign, when it is going to Capricorn. So it can lead to some problems here. So take care. Okay. Otherwise, it's a mixed bag, as I said. Coming to the next sign and the last one, that is Pisces. All right. The last sign, Pisces. Yes. Your Lagnesh is going to go direct this month. So it's a relief, a big time relief. When a benefic gets direct, it has the potency to give results even more. And of course, Rahu Ketu are also going to be changing signs and going towards better houses for you, and are leaving this Jupiter as well. So positive. To start with, you have to see the condition of Venus and Mercury, because they are the first ones to change signs to start with. Venus is going to be in Cancer sign, and Mercury is going to be in the exaltation sign of Virgo. So good for your spouse, good for the investments, good for the synchronization between the outer world and the inner perspective that you're carrying, the communicative you. You are going to be expressive. Your partner is going to be very cordial with you. Investments are going to be giving you good results. You're going to be investing and you're going to be actually gaining and making profits this month. Positive. Taking care of few things, I'll be sharing with you that as well. You're very emotional in relationship right now. You have to make some fine choices. See, there are certain things that you're thinking of doing, some creative energy is there. Student natives are also very creative and they're thinking of growth. But at the same time, you're going overboard. You're going overboard in the energy is pretty heightened. It's emotional, but at the same time, too much of emotions in relationship actually backfires at times. You have to be practical as well. It's not that there is no emotions has no place. Absolutely not. Emotions and being practical, both are supposed to be equal. As per me, I feel that when you are going overboard in one zone, you're being very practical and less emotional, or very emotional and less practical, then these things don't work actually. So you have to strike a balance. You have to make wise decisions in case you have to get married, or you're thinking of getting in a relationship, or you're already in a relationship. So all those things you have to work out very wisely. During this month, Venus is going to be in the sign, and then it'll be going towards the 6th house zone on the 28th as well. So you have to be taking care of your relationship, especially creative energy. Definitely you're going to be painting, drawing. You'll be in that zone of music. You'll pick up your guitar and you will start playing it again, and you're very emotional about things. Positive. Students, positive. Investments, positive, in case you have to. Moving further on, we have Mars getting retrograde in your second house. Positive again. Why? Because Mars in your second house zone actually is good for financials, but it depletes savings also. Um, Clashes with the family members have been too heightened, and you have been having some problems in communication also. So all those are going to get little better, because Mars is going in retrogression and it's going to get demoted and coming to your first house zone again. So in retrogression, what positive energy is that it is losing its potency to give the results as per the planet. So here, the accident prone or the speech related issues, the harshness in your speech, or eating oily and spicy food, all these energies are getting mellowed down. So it is positive for you for that reason mainly. And it's the it's the Bhagya Lord also. So you have to not actually depend on your luck. You have to put effort and gain strength. You have to work through the energy to gain the results, to get the results. Okay. Then we have Sun also entering the sign of Virgo. So that is happening on the 16th, and Sun is also going to be in the Kendra, Jupiter in the Kendra, Rahu Ketu also in the Kendra. So this is going to be a positive energy, and it is going to give some authoritative spouse. Partner is very authoritative. Maybe your business partner wants you to be investing money in the business, and you want to, if you are in a partnership business, of course, or maybe you are being very wise in making decisions regarding your financials and your investments. You are a leader. So it's good that you utilize this time to make wise decisions at the place of work. Get cordiality maintained with your co-workers. Get into that rhythm of that leadership skills that you have. Make leaders out of leaders. Be a leader that creates more leaders. Okay, that will help you. And of course, Jupiter is going to also get direct, as I said, and is coming out of the Rahu Ketu axis towards the 19th. So definitely a positive Jupiter for you as well. He's a Lagnesh and is going to be there till the 20th of November. So make the best use of this transit. It is going to go to the 11th house zone. Again, not bad. So after, of course, it's going to be there for a year in the 11th house zone. So definitely a positive transit, because Jupiter is gaining strength in the Kendra. So at the place of work, you'll be recognized. You're thinking about growth. You're thinking about expansion, adventure. and growth prospects are on the cards. Maybe some promotion or change of job is also coming away. So utilize it. Rahu Ketu are going to be going in the 3 and 9 axis, not bad at all, but have some cordiality maintained with your father. Take care of your father's health as well. I have already made video on Rahu Ketu, and you can just go in the playlist and see how Rahu Ketu are behaving, in the signs of Taurus and Scorpio. Take care of your health, I would say. The thigh region, or you can have some problems in your communication also. You confuse kind of a communication, some miscommunication or misunderstanding can come up with Rahu Ketu in this zone. But still, it is much better than the 4-10 axis, because fourth house is the house of happiness, and the happiness quotient is missing when Rahu is going to be in the fourth house zone. So it is better, good for selling property, buying property, whatever you have to during this time. It's good. Change the place of residence. Good. Saturn is going to go direct also in the 11th house, positive again. It is going to give you some wish fulfillment there. A lot of hard work that you have put, maybe you will be getting the results now, fruition time. So positive for you. Just take care of your health when Mars is also in the second house. So that is something which you have to be taking care of. Otherwise, keep a close watch on my weeklies when Moon is transiting these zones, where Libra sign or Aquarius sign of yours. So you have to be extra cautious during that time. Do listen to the weeklies, and that will be clarifying a lot, many things. So this was my take on the transit positions, and I hope you understood everything. So yeah, this was a little tiring because I did it in one go, in one stretch. So I hope you all will follow my advice and take care of your health, take care of your sleep, eat right, eat light, sleep on time. Stay blessed, everyone. Om Tat Sat.